Hello, today I will be talking about the history of the current first round matchups in the NHL playoffs. I will start with the Eastern Conference matchups, then I'll go on to the Western Conference matchups. The first matchup in the Eastern Conference is between the Washington Capitals and the Philadelphia Flyers. The Flyers and Capitals have been rivals throughout the 1980s, dating back to their days in the Patrick Division. They have met 5 previous times in the playoffs. Historically, the Caps have won 3 matchups and the Flyers have won 2 times. In their most recent matchup in the playoffs in 2008, the Flyers won in 7 games. The Pittsburgh Penguins and New York Rangers is the next playoff matchup in the Eastern Conference. The Pittsburgh Penguins and New York Rangers have been rivals since their days in the Patrick Division and Wales Conference. They have faced each other 6 previous times in the playoffs. The Penguins won 4 times in those matchups, and the Rangers have won twice. Last season, the Rangers took care of the Penguins in 5 games. The Tampa Bay Lightning and Detroit Red Wings have faced each other only once, but this rivalry is already shaping up to be very intense because they went 7 games in that series, and it was a very physical one at that. Tampa Bay went on to win that series, and they eventually won the Eastern Conference. The final series in the Eastern Conference is between the Florida Panthers and the New York Islanders. This is the first ever meeting between the two teams in the playoffs, but you can bet that it will be a competitive series because once you get to the playoffs, you want to advance. Now, moving on to the Western Conference matchups. The first matchup is between the Dallas Stars and the Minnesota Wild. This is the first ever meeting between the Dallas Stars and the Minnesota Wild in the playoffs. The next matchup is between the Anaheim Ducks and the Nashville Predators. The Anaheim Ducks and the Nashville Predators have faced each other once in the playoffs before. In 2010-2011, the Nashville Predators won the series in 6 games. The next series is the St. Louis Blues versus the Chicago Blackhawks. The Blues and Blackhawks are longtime rivals and have many heated battles in the playoffs throughout the years. Historically, they have played each other 11 times in the playoffs, and in those 11 times meeting each other in the playoffs, Chicago has won 8 times, and St. Louis has won 3 times. In the last matchup, Chicago won their series in 6 games. That was in 2013-14 season. And the final matchup in the Western Conference is between the Los Angeles Kings and San Jose Sharks. The LA Kings and San Jose Sharks are interstate rivals and always provide entertaining matchups when they play each other. They have played each other in the playoffs 3 times in the playoffs before, 2 times in the last 3 times in the last 4 years, including this year. Historically, LA has won 2 series and San Jose has won 1 time. In the most recent meeting, LA beat San Jose in 7 games and went on to win the Stanley Cup in 2013-14. So that's the historical context between the first round opponents in the NHL playoffs. Next episode, I will be talking about updating the playoff series and the best players in the playoff series.